Today, I thought I would share about my spiritual awakening. Even though I had it back in 2008, I still like talking about it because, well, it's one of those blissful experiences, not like Kundalini awakening. I'm currently 9 years into my Kundalini awakening, and it's still not so fun. But anyway, yeah, I like to talk about some bliss today because, yeah, it's been a little rough this past week. So, my spiritual awakening, well, gosh, my life is so different now compared to back in 2008. My life was full of so much drama at that time. So I do have to give Kundalini some credit here because I don't have crazy drama like I did back then. But anyway, so at the time of my spiritual awakening, I was just breaking up with a man that I was pretty serious about, and turned out that he was a big fat liar. Even small things, like you would think, like, why would somebody lie about that? Like, just everything that came out of his mouth, pretty much a lie. And so I was really like, once I found out about all of that, I really started questioning reality and what it was that I just experienced, because for me, like, everything that I experienced with him, like, he had told me that he was dying, so I went through the experience, like, of what it felt like to be with somebody that was dying, even though it wasn't true. I still experienced it. So I was really questioning, well, what is reality? And then while I was in this kind of like confused and chaotic state of mind, I happened to pick up a book by Alan Watts called The Way of Zen. And he was talking about how duality doesn't exist, that everything is just opposite sides of the same coin, so to speak. There's no right, there's no wrong. In breath, out breath, it's just breath, right? So I was reading all of this that he was explaining, and then thinking about my situation, and realized that, it was just my perception. Like, right and wrong is just like our choice, like our perception of what we think. And so that defines our reality by our perception. And so I kind of had this huge, like, aha moment, and just switched from being in a state of duality into being in unity consciousness, and immediately went into a bliss state and was basically stretching out across the whole universe because I was no longer bound by my body. I no longer had all the baggage, like all the emotional drama that I was going through and all my past history, like all of that had just left me. I was just spirit, enjoying being one with everything. And so this state lasted for about 4 hours until the thought came in that told me I should probably go to bed. It's getting late. And hindsight, if I would have known that I wouldn't have woken up the next morning still in a state of bliss, I would have certainly stayed up as long as I could, and enjoyed the moment of it. Yeah, it was pretty great. So, yeah, the next morning I woke up totally miserable again, back in my conditioned state of thinking and being. And the same but different. Definitely. I mean, there were definite differences that they're hard to like explain, but different. And it actually, the whole experience changed the trajectory of my life. I immediately, like, I didn't know like what had happened to me. And so I wanted to find out like what that was. And so just really became a seeker, searcher, trying to figure out what it was. And ended up joining a Buddhist temple and meditating every day for at least an hour or more a day, and other things like kind of like woo-woo things started happening in my life. So I won't get too into those, but definitely had moments where I kept thinking like everybody is a Buddha, like trying to like wake me up, because I went back into the conditioned mind, and I just kept having like these like phantom people like show up, and I knew they were Buddhas from the moment like I saw them. I knew there was going to be some lesson there. And yeah, so just a lot of really crazy experiences afterwards. But another 7 years until I had my heart awakening, and then 4 months after that had my Kundalini awakening. So anyway, that's my story in a really quick version of it. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you another time. Bye. Thanks.